Hello, I'm Alistair McGowan. Why am I such a passionate green campaigner? Well, because the simple fact is I love the natural world and everything about it. I love trees, I love the countryside, I love the seas, I love all the elements and feel very at one with nature. I grew up in a rural environment and I know how much damage we're doing to the world. I've read about it, I've watched programs about it, and I think we have a beautiful world and we need to do all we can to preserve every species of plant life and animal life within it. And at the moment the most endangered species, probably by dint of our own actions, is us. Next week is Green Office Week, which Avery have supported, and I think it's a terrific initiative. There are so many things that I observe in offices that I go into which I think could be improved, particularly heating and air conditioning. Offices are always over hot in the winter, they're always over cool in the summer. Frequently they don't need either. We should dress for the season. We're wasting huge amounts of energy heating buildings unnecessarily. Frequently the heating and air conditioning have no controls or no apparent controls, or they're controlled from somewhere in Gdansk, so we can't affect the heating where we are. Similarly with the lighting is always on day or night, whether it's sunny or not. Most of the time we don't need it. And again, the switches you can find as easily as finding a flea on a cat. It's well, a cat is taken, obviously, programmed, so he hasn't got that many fleas. Otherwise, if he hadn't taken the program, he'd have lots of fleas. That's slightly off the point now, isn't it? Also, leaving computers on. People who charge their phones at work and leave the phone charging, even though the charger in the plug, even though the phone is charged. Endless things. How people get to work. Whether they drive, whether they leave the engine running outside unnecessarily before they get in the car, so it can warm up, so they don't get cold. Sorry, that was a bit patronising, wasn't it? Ricky Gervais gets away with it. Why can't I? Because he's got an accent. What else? The canteen, what they buy in the canteen, the amount of cold drinks machines in the canteen. Frequently there are so many of the fridges that they make the thing hot, so again we need something to cool it down. So there are fans or air conditioning units in the canteen. Plastic cutlery, paper plates, plastic wallets to put paper in that we don't need, printing things up that we don't need to print up, or printing up too much of a document when you can select and print. I've learnt that today and I will be doing it in future. There's so many things. There are so many things we can do to make our offices greener. And greenofficeweek.eu, that's all one word, just imagine Alan Hansen. greenofficeweek.eu will tell you more and more about what you can do. I think people are lazy about being green at work because sometimes there aren't facilities. If there are facilities, they're not told about the facilities when they join a particular company. Facilities and systems aren't as easy to implement as they are at home necessarily. There's ever-changing personnel, so somebody might come in and contaminate a recycling system or not know about other environmental initiatives within the building. I think also perhaps it's seen as being a little bit uncool for some reason. So some people, and I'd probably say a lot of it is younger men, I don't know, maybe not, would think, oh, I'm not sorting my rubbish out, I'm not turning the lights off, what's it to do with me? But it is to do with us, and it will be to do with us when the planet gets hotter and hotter and when we run out of resources. And so we have to think about it now for not just future generations, but for our generation, because we're going to run out of stuff soon. Top tips range from everything like not printing up emails unnecessarily, not using too many staplers, or using the invisible staplers that we can get now, which will put two bits of paper together without using any metal, looking at all the plastics that we produce, that we use, bringing in your own lunch in a lunchbox, using, not that lunchbox, obviously that would taste, well, I don't know, I've never... Yes, reusing plastic bottles. If you bring your water in a plastic bottle, reuse it. Fill it from the tap at home. Don't keep buying bottled water, which is transported miles across the countries, across the world. So many things, all of which have now gone out of my head, of course. Switching things off when they're not in use, switching the lights off, and above all, making a fuss. Make a fuss. Cause a stink. Don't make yourself unpopular. No one likes that. But get people together. And I think two things that I would love to see all officers doing is perhaps appointing a green ambassador or a green champion, who is a person who helps to show the waste that's being generated in offices, whether it's physical waste or waste of energy, because it's so easy once it's pointed out to you, and it saves a lot of money. Now, I think the other thing the Green Ambassador could do is say to the bosses, look, if we work out how much our electricity bill is now, for instance, and then work out month by month how much we are saving by our combined efforts, can we, A, keep the money, B, keep the money within the company to give to our charity, which we look after, or 3, keep the money month by month, let us know how much we're saving and earning, and then at the end of the year maybe give it to comic relief. So rather than sitting in a bath of baked beans for one day, we make our comic relief action throughout the year.
Nicolas Cage once made a movie called Con Air, and I wish he'd make a movie called Aircon, because the con in Aircon is a con. You don't need it, folks, and it's depriving you of a lot of energy, a lot of money. So Aircon is a con. Con Aircon, that's going to be my new movie, and you better come watch it because it's going to be great, okay? Yeah.
There's a great film called Moon, which Kevin Spacey's in. He plays a computer called Gertie. And maybe we should all think of a Gertie in our heads. And the next time we're in our office, what would Gertie say? Gertie would say, turn the light off now. Turn the computer off. Don't be wasteful. You're feeling faint, aren't you? Yes. Well, now you'll feel good about yourself. I'm Gertie. How can I help you? How can I help you be greener? That was rubbish.